My girlfriend lied about sleeping with her best friend. Then I found the group chat planning their cover-up, throwaway because coworkers know my main account. He is just a friend I met through work events. You would really like him. That is what my girlfriend said when she introduced me to Garrison. Turns out she had been inside him 3 weeks before she was inside my life, and her entire friend group helped orchestrate that lie. I am Orion 33M. Been dating Celeste 27F for about 8 months now. We work at the same tech company. I am a project manager making $85K. She is in marketing coordination making around $55K. We have been pretty serious, talking about moving in together after the holidays, maybe getting engaged next year. I have even been looking at rings, honestly. My mom keeps asking when she is going to meet the one, and for the first time in my life, I actually have an answer. Celeste's got this big social circle and loves throwing parties. She is one of those naturally charismatic people who everyone gravitates toward, always organizing group hangouts, dinner parties, weekend trips. She throws these amazing themed parties at her downtown apartment that people talk about for weeks. She actually threw the party where we first hooked up back in March. It was her spring equinox party, complete with flower crowns and botanical cocktails. Amazing night. We had incredible chemistry, ended up talking until 4 a.m. about everything from travel dreams to childhood fears, our career goals, what we wanted out of relationships. We connected on this deep level I had never experienced before, made it official about 2 weeks later after several more incredible dates. Everything's been great, honestly. She is supportive of my work stress, helps me network at company events, makes me feel like the luckiest guy in the room. Her friends all seem to like me, which matters because she is really close with her crew. I am more of an introvert who is comfortable with my small circle of college buddies, so being with someone who brings out my social side has been amazing. She has helped me branch out, try new restaurants, meet new people. I have never felt so integrated into someone's life before. In June, she introduced me to this guy Garrison, 40M, at a big outdoor concert downtown. Some indie band she had been wanting to see. He is new to our friend group, just started hanging out with us through some mutual work connections. He is an architect, recently divorced, really cool guy. I think you guys would get along great. She seemed genuinely excited about introducing us, kept saying how she thought we would really click based on our personalities. And we did get along immediately. Garrison's a cool guy, tall, confident, easy to talk to. We have done a bunch of stuff together over the past few months. Double dates with him and his girlfriend, nice woman. Some kind of consultant, weekend fishing trips to the lake. Watched football at his downtown condo. Grabbed beers after work. He really integrated into our group quickly. Celeste always seemed happy that we clicked so well, constantly commenting on how natural our friendship felt and how glad she was that we got along. The guy genuinely became a friend. We have similar tastes in music, both played college baseball, both dealing with demanding careers. He has got good advice about work stuff since he is older and more established. I was actually planning to ask him to be in my wedding party when Celeste and I get engaged. That is how close we would become. But lately, something's been bothering me. Little inconsistencies in stories about how they met. She would say when Garrison first started hanging out with us in June, but then reference things they did together that seemed to predate that. Like mentioning a restaurant they had been to before, but then quickly changing the subject when I asked for details, or talking about some inside joke they had. Then catching herself and saying, oh, that was from when he first joined the group. Or she would mention back when Garrison was single, even though he has been with his girlfriend since I have known him. When I pointed that out, she would laugh it off saying she meant newly single or adjusting to dating again after his divorce. But something about her tone always felt off, like she was covering for a slip-up. There have been other weird moments too. At a barbecue last month at her friend Sarah's place, someone mentioned a new thriller movie and Garrison said, "Oh, Celeste and I saw that ages ago, right? You hated the ending." She got this panicked look and quickly said, "No, I think you are thinking of someone else. I haven't seen that movie," but I could have sworn I saw recognition flash across her face first before the denial kicked in. Another time, we were talking about favorite local hiking spots, and Garrison mentioned this trail that is pretty obscure, not well known. Celeste immediately started describing specific parts of the trail in detail, then caught herself and said she had only heard about it from other friends. But she knew way too many specifics for someone who had just heard about it. Last week, she mentioned wanting Garrison to meet her father at Thanksgiving dinner. He has become such an important friend to our group. Dad would love him. I think they would really connect over architecture stuff since Dad's into home renovation projects. That struck me as really weird. They have supposedly only known each other 5 months, and she has never suggested any other friend meet her parents. Her dad's pretty particular about who gets invited to family events. I started paying more attention after that. At dinner parties, there is this weird familiarity between them. Not flirty, exactly, but like they share some private joke or history. Little glances when certain songs come on. When she tells stories about before we met, sometimes Garrison gets this look like he knows more than he is letting on, or like he is biting his tongue to avoid correcting details. Here is what really got me thinking. Last weekend, we were planning where to grab lunch, and Celeste mentioned a new brunch place she had discovered recently. Garrison immediately perked up and said, "Oh, that place is fantastic. I love their fish tacos and bottomless mimosas. The outdoor seating is great too. Really specific details." But when I asked when he had been there, he got vague and said, "Oh, just stopped by once," and quickly changed the subject to something else. Celeste looked uncomfortable during the whole exchange. I know how this sounds. Maybe I am being paranoid. Maybe I am reading too much into casual friendships and coincidences. But my gut is screaming that something doesn't add up about their timeline. I have always had good instincts about people, and every fiber of my being is telling me there is more to their story. The thing is, if they hooked up before we started dating, I honestly don't care. We weren't exclusive in March. I was seeing other people too. But if she has been lying about it for 8 months, coordinating stories with him, introducing him as some new friend when they have history, that is a completely different level of deception. That is not protecting my feelings. That is manipulating my entire understanding of our relationship. I need to know the truth. I cannot keep second-guessing every interaction between them, analyzing every comment for hidden meaning. Tonight, while she is at book club, she goes every Thursday, I am going to look at her phone. I know it is a violation of privacy, but I need to know if I am crazy or if my instincts are right. I have never done anything like this before, but I cannot live with this uncertainty. Am I overreacting here? Has anyone else discovered their partner was lying about a friendship timeline? Am I being paranoid, or do these red flags seem legitimate? Edit. A lot of people are asking why this matters if it was before we dated. You are right that the hookup itself wouldn't matter, but orchestrating an elaborate lie about how they met, getting friends to go along with it, and then trying to integrate him into my life under false pretenses. That level of deception says something about her character and what else she might be hiding. Update 1. Thanks for all the responses on my last post. A lot of you said to trust my gut and investigate. Some suggested I was overthinking it, that maybe there was an innocent explanation. Well, I checked her phone last night, and holy shit, you guys were right. My instincts were dead on. I waited until she left for book club around 7 p.m. She always goes to this wine bar downtown where her book club meets every Thursday. Usually gets home around 10. I had maybe 2.5 hours to figure out what was going on. My hands were literally shaking as I picked up her phone. She has 2 phones. She had left it charging on the kitchen counter. I know her passcode because we have been together 8 months, and she has entered it in front of me dozens of times. Still felt like crossing a line I had never crossed before. I found the original text messages between Celeste and Garrison from the 22nd of March, explicit messages about their hookup the night before. She was telling him how amazing it was, asking when they could do it again. This was a week before she and I even slept together for the first time. But the real gut punch came from finding messages in May where they planned their entire cover story. 2 months after they hooked up, they were rehearsing how to lie to me. They agreed to say they met through work friends in June, nothing before that. If anyone asked about timeline stuff, he would stay vague about gradually getting to know the group. I sat there reading months of coordination between them. They discussed how to act around me, friendly but not too familiar. In August, she told him it was working out perfectly, and to keep being the cool divorced guy friend since I had no idea. He said I was a good guy, and it made things easier, even mentioned my fishing stories were entertaining. What game were they playing with my life? Then I found her messages with Madison where she admitted she was attracted to both of us, but I was relationship material while Garrison wasn't ready for anything serious. So I was the safe choice while he was the exciting one. Madison called it living a double life. But Celeste insisted she was just managing the situation so everyone's comfortable. The worst discovery was from October. She was planning to introduce Garrison to her parents at Thanksgiving. Her friend Sarah asked if that wasn't risky, bringing her hookup to meet my potential in-laws. Celeste had their story down pat and said everything was deceptive. If you looked at it wrong, she was just building a life where everyone got along. I barely slept that night. When she came home from book club acting completely normal, talking about some romance novel they were reading, I just stared at her. She had no idea I had spent 3 hours discovering our entire relationship was built on coordinated lies. She cuddled up like nothing was wrong while I lay there knowing she had been manipulating me for 8 months. Every time she mentioned how Garrison was fitting in so well with the group, or how glad she was that we got along. All calculated bullshit. Every time he and I bonded over baseball or work stress or relationship advice, he knew something about my girlfriend that I didn't know. Every time we had those guy talks about dating and marriage, he was probably thinking about how he had already been with the woman I was falling in love with. I haven't confronted her yet because honestly, I am still processing this. Part of me wants to see how deep this goes, if other friends are in on it, if there is more I don't know about. How many other people in my life are actively lying to me on a daily basis? I am supposed to have dinner with her parents this weekend, and she wants to invite Garrison. He's become such a good friend. I would love for them to meet him before the holidays. Now I know why. She wants to integrate her March hookup into my life so completely that even my potential in-laws know him as my friend. She wants to make this lie so embedded in our shared reality that it becomes impossible to untangle. I feel sick. Not about the sex itself. We weren't exclusive in March, and I was seeing other people too. But about the months of coordinated deception, the planning, the rehearsed stories, the way they have both been looking me in the eye and lying effortlessly for 8 months. The way she has been playing this role of supportive girlfriend while orchestrating this elaborate manipulation behind my back. What kind of person coordinates a cover-up like this? What kind of friend goes along with it? And what does this say about her character that she is capable of this level of sustained deception while acting completely normal? I need advice. Do I confront her directly with the evidence? Do I try to find out if other friends knew about this deception? Do I confront Garrison first to see what his version of events is? Part of me wants to play along and see what other lies unravel, but I don't think I can sit through dinner with her parents this weekend pretending everything's normal while knowing that the friend she is introducing them to is someone she was planning to sleep with again just weeks after we started dating. How would you handle this level of betrayal? Because honestly, this feels like more than just lying about a hookup. This feels like psychological manipulation. How would you handle this? Update 2. I took everyone's advice about gathering more evidence before confronting her. Good thing I did because I found something that made this whole situation 10 times worse. What I thought was just between Celeste and Garrison actually involved her entire inner circle of friends. Celeste has a group chat with 5 of her closest friends called Inner Circle. Madison, Sarah, Jessica, Rachel, and Claire, all women I have met multiple times, had dinner with, even hung out with one-on-one. I had heard her mention the group chat but never thought much about it. Figured it was typical girl stuff, coordinating plans, sharing gossip, whatever. Tuesday morning while she was in the shower, I checked her phone again and found the thread from early March. The conversation starts right after her party where Garrison and I both hooked up with her. Apparently on the same night, this detail I hadn't fully grasped from the earlier texts. I found the group chat messages from the 22nd of March, right after her party. Her friends were asking about her 2 work crushes from the night before. Turns out she had hooked up with both Garrison and me the same night. Him around 1 a.m., then me an hour later after he left. Her friends were shocked, asking which one was better and telling her she had to pick. But instead of choosing, she came up with a plan. She would date me seriously, but keep Garrison as a close friend, as long as I never knew about their history. She had already talked Garrison into it, saying they would introduce him as someone new to the group in June. Her friends were uncomfortable at first. Madison felt weird about lying to me. Rachel said it made them all complicit in deceiving me. But Celeste convinced them it was just managing information to protect my feelings. She systematically got each friend to agree to the cover story. The coordination was insane. Before group events, she would remind everyone that Garrison joined the group in June. They coached him on acting like he was new. What to say about his divorce. When someone almost slipped up mentioning places he and Celeste had been together, they would quickly change subjects. In September, Madison asked if she felt guilty. Celeste's response broke me. She said it was working perfectly because she got the best of both worlds while I adored her, completely unaware. She called it thoughtful relationship management. Reading those messages, I realized this wasn't about hiding a hookup. She had orchestrated an entire false reality involving 6 people to get exactly what she wanted, while keeping me completely in the dark. I screenshotted everything and sent it to my personal email. Then I sat on our couch for 3 hours staring at the wall, trying to process that the woman I love orchestrated an 8-month deception involving 6 people. 6 people who have been lying to my face every time we have hung out together. When she got home from work Tuesday around 6 p.m., I was done pretending. I couldn't look at her the same way, couldn't listen to her talk about her day knowing what I knew. We need to talk about Garrison. She was putting groceries away, acting completely normal. What about him? Did something happen? I pulled out my phone with the screenshots loaded. About how you slept with him at your March party and then spent 8 months coordinating an elaborate lie with your entire friend group to hide it from me. Her face went completely white. The bag of apples she was holding hit the floor. She started stammering about invasion of privacy. How dare I go through her phone? This was a violation of trust. Trust, I laughed, but there was no humor in it. You want to talk about trust? You coordinated a massive lie with your entire friend group for 8 months. Your friends have been lying to my face every time we hang out. She tried the usual playbook. It wasn't a big deal. It was before we were exclusive. I was overreacting. She was protecting my feelings. If I knew the truth, I would have been jealous and insecure, and it would have ruined our relationship. So you made that decision for me. You decided I couldn't handle the truth. So you had just lie forever? It is not lying. It is just creative timeline management. Yeah, I saw that text too. I saw all of them. Celeste, the whole group chat where you and your friends debated my pros and cons like I am a menu item. She went quiet for a minute, realizing how deep I would dug. Then tried a different approach, started crying, saying she loved me. Garrison meant nothing. It was just sex. She chose me for a reason. You chose me because I was relationship material, and he was just fun but too much drama. I saw those messages too. That is not you are taking it out of context. What context makes it okay to coordinate lies with 6 people about the foundation of our relationship? I asked her point blank. Were you planning to tell me the truth ever? Long pause. I don't know. Eventually, maybe, when you were more secure in our relationship. After you got me more invested, after I got attached to him as a friend. After he met my family. When exactly would I have been secure enough to handle basic honesty? She didn't answer that, just kept crying and saying I was making it bigger than it was. Bigger than it was, Celeste. You got your entire friend group to lie to me for 8 months. Madison felt bad about it, and you convinced her it was relationship management. You were planning to introduce him to your parents as my friend. How is that not big? She tried to explain that she was building a life where everyone she cared about could coexist happily. That she was being thoughtful and strategic about managing complex social dynamics. You weren't managing social dynamics. You were manipulating me. There is a difference. I told her I needed space to think. She has been staying at Madison since Tuesday night. She has been texting constantly, trying to minimize it, saying we can work through this, begging me not to throw away our relationship over something that doesn't even matter now. But that is exactly the point. She still doesn't get it. This isn't about the hookup. It is about 8 months of calculated deception. It is about manipulating me, him, and our entire social circle. It is about making me feel like an idiot for trusting her while 6 other people knew I was being lied to. I have been thinking about all the times Garrison and I hung out. All the conversations with her friends where they must have been internally cringing while maintaining the lie. Was Madison thinking about the group chat every time she asked how Garrison and I were getting along? Was Sarah feeling guilty when she would comment on what a natural friendship we had? I am supposed to go to her work Christmas party next week. As her boyfriend, meeting her colleagues, playing the happy couple, all while she has coordinated this elaborate fiction about our relationship foundation. I don't know if I can come back from this level of betrayal. Not the sex. The systematic deception, the planning. The way she managed me like some kind of naive kid who couldn't handle adult realities while positioning herself as the wise relationship manager protecting my fragile feelings. Anyone else dealt with this level of coordinated lying involving multiple people? How do you even rebuild trust after discovering that your entire social circle has been actively deceiving you? Final update. It has been 6 weeks since my last update. The whole situation resolved itself in ways I never expected, with some perfect karmic justice thrown in that honestly made all the bullshit worth it. I ended things with Celeste immediately. No negotiation, no therapy, just done. Blocked her everywhere and told coworkers I didn't want to discuss it. 2 weeks later, Garrison texted from a different number wanting to meet. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won out. We met at a bar and he looked like hell, unshaven, stressed, ordering whiskey neat. He came clean about everything. Turns out, he had been playing an even longer game than I realized. He never got over Celeste after their March hookup and was the one who suggested the friend introduction plan. He wanted to stay close while she dated me, hoping she would eventually choose him instead. For months, he had been subtly undermining our relationship. Comments about how serious I was for my age, suggestions that Celeste was settling down too young, stories about divorced friends who rushed into relationships, all designed to make her doubt us. The real kicker? His girlfriend Rebecca that I would genuinely liked. She was actually his ex-wife. They had been trying to reconcile since April, but he was using her as a prop to seem unavailable while pursuing Celeste. She had no idea. When Garrison finally felt guilty and confessed everything to everyone, the fallout was spectacular. Rebecca was furious about being used and immediately filed for divorce. She posted the whole story on Facebook, exposing everything to their mutual friends and family. Celeste was devastated, realizing Garrison had been manipulating her too. Her friend group imploded. Madison and Sarah apologized to me. The others took sides, and now they are all fighting. Celeste ended up basically friendless. Meanwhile, my life got infinitely better. Celeste transferred departments. I got promoted to senior project manager, moved into a downtown loft with an actual view, started rock climbing, lost 20 pounds. Met Emma at the climbing gym. She is a vet who is refreshingly straightforward about everything. Last week I ran into Celeste at a coffee shop. She looked exhausted and was clearly fishing to see if I was struggling without her. When I told her about the promotion, new place, climbing, and Emma, I watched her face change as she realized I was thriving. She asked if we could ever be friends. I told her honestly that I couldn't get past that level of coordinated deception. The fact that she got 6 people to lie to me for 8 months shows something about her character that I don't want in my life. The karma was perfect. Celeste lost everything while I ended up with a better job, better place, better health, and someone who values honesty. Life's infinitely simpler when everyone tells the truth.